I'm Christine, and it's time for Stories I Ate This Month. Stories I Ate This Month.
Off the hook, but the phone never rang. Beast on the beats, no claws, no fangs.
It is already January. It was January 2018. It's time for December Stories I Ate This Month, and let me just tell you right now, I saw about 50 million movies and only finished 2 books. And I'm stretching that because I still have like 10 pages left in Roomies. I read like nothing this month. I read Otherworld at the very beginning of the month, and then I just took a break. I took a break and just watched movies. Now back to our regularly scheduled reading. Am I counting comedy specials as movies? I usually do that, so let's do it. 18 movies. What the actual fork? Let's get right into it. I also watched a couple of shows, so I mean, and I read 2 books. So I'm gonna start us off with a December Booksplosion book of the month. If you don't know, Booksplosion is a book club that I run with Jesse and Kat. We read together every month with you guys, do a live show. It's great. So in December, we were working with Random House, and we read Otherworld by Jason Segel and Kristen Miller. There's already a live show discussion about it. I'll link it in the description below. So Otherworld was a really fun audiobook. It's so much more interesting than like it appears from the cover. So Otherworld is a virtual reality game. There's this new version of Otherworld where you don't need a headset and stuff. The game connects with your brain and you're like just fully immersed into that world. Everything is very real. You can feel things, you can taste things. While that all sounds good and dandy and you can escape to this completely other world, there's more going on behind the scenes with this company. There's alternative motives. Basically, our main character's best friend goes missing and he knew she was playing this game. So he goes into the game and he ends up not being able to get out of it. And it is crazy. What was really fascinating about it was how flawed the main character was. He has good attributes, but he's very much an ass. And a lot of times you're like, oh, you get mad at him because he does he makes these dick moves. You don't really like him, but you want him to succeed because you want him to find his best friend and you hate the company more than you hate him. It was a fast-paced, fun-filled thrill ride. It brings up some philosophical questions and it's the start of the story. So there's definitely at least one other book. Next, let's see. The first movie I watched this month was The Big Sick, which is a comedy that I didn't think I was gonna be able to watch because of my hypochondriac issues. I didn't see it in theaters even though it was getting great reviews, but I saw that it was free on like Stars or Amazon Prime. I think it was Amazon Prime. I tried to watch it and I did watch it and it was good, but I did have to pause a couple of times because it was like getting to me. I was like, oh no. I enjoyed it. I'd give it like a solid B plus A minus. I don't know which one. I gotta pick one. Okay. A B plus. I can't say A minus because it did like freak me out a little bit with the medical stuff. I couldn't like fully enjoy it because of my hypochondriac issues, but it was good and it was well written and it was sweet and I enjoyed all that about it. It's a rom-com about this comedian who's Pakistani and this blonde girl and they fall in love. His parents don't approve of her and it causes friction in the relationship and then we go from there. Next, the first TV show I watched this month was Outlander. I binged the rest of season 3 of Outlander and my god, it's the best season yet. I loved it so much. Every episode was a cliffhanger. I couldn't stop watching it. Outlander, usually I have to take a break because it just gets to me because a lot of unfortunate events go down, but this season, I cannot wait for next season. The way this season ended was so, it is a time travel romance drama and it is so good. A plus to season 3 of Outlander, man. The next movie I watched this month was Captain Fantastic. I saw that it was on Amazon Prime. I knew there's a lot of buzz about it last year, I think. I turned it on just expecting to like watch the first 10 minutes, see how I like it, and I thought it was gonna be a comedy. It's not, but I kept watching. The whole story was so thought-provoking and kind of mesmerizing to watch. It's about this man who brought his family into basically the wild, into the woods to live. They live in like tree houses and stuff, and he has like 6 kids, and his wife just died. It's about that family dealing with that situation, and the wife's family never wanted her pulled out of society to live with her kids in the middle of the forest, and it really makes you stop and think about the way that we live and how we think and all that jazz. I really enjoyed that aspect of it, and all the kids in it were excellent. I'd give it an A minus. Then, the next movie I saw this month was Lady Bird, which everyone and their mom is raving about. And they're raving about it so extensively that I was expecting it to be something very different from what it was. And I ended up not liking it as much. I mean, it was good. Like, I can objectively say that. But I felt a disconnect from everyone in it because the film is very tight. I think it's like only an hour and a half, and you don't really breathe with any of the characters. You just kind of go from scene to scene to scene to scene. The story is a slice of this girl's life. It's her senior year of high school, and she's applying to colleges and stuff. Her name is Lady Bird. She goes by Lady Bird. Her name is Christine. Every time I wanted to feel something, we would cut to a new scene, and I would feel a little disconnected. It was like watching a movie happen from afar rather than being involved in their life, like feeling like you're on the journey with them. It was just watching. There was like a couple degrees of separation. You never have a second to really get attached to the characters. You just see their lives and understand what they're going through, but not on such an emotional level that I felt a real connection. But it felt like a film festival-y film. Like, it felt like it was made to be critically acclaimed. And I don't want to say it felt like a film student film, but it felt like a film student on a very high level making a film. I don't know if it's because I went to film school that I find that off-putting because I thought those people were so pretentious, but it had like a pretension to it. I'll stop talking about this. I'm gonna give it a B. People were saying it was like a new Mean Girls sort of a thing, and like I could see where it almost could be, but it's not shot that way. It's not edited that way. So it's not. The next thing I watched this month was a comedy special. I watched about 500 comedy specials this month, so get ready. This one was Brian Regan, Nunchucks, and Flamethrowers. Netflix thought I would like it, so I turned it on. I think I was cackling like hysterically for a solid 10 minutes. Natasha and Kat were in the other. Yeah, it was when I was making my bed. Natasha came in and was like, "What the hell are you watching?" Because I was just dying. He did this bit about tennis, and it was wonderful. I don't remember any of the other bits, but I really enjoyed his set. A for Brian Regan, Nunchucks, and Flamethrowers. Next, I'm not gonna say much about this, but I rewatched Westworld again. I know, why? Having you rewatched like 100 times is my third rewatch, and I loved it again. I found new things again, and I like wrote down notes again. I'm so excited for it to come back this year. It's this year. It's spring of this year. It is soon. It is already winter of this year. And spring could be March. It could be any time soon. A+ to Westworld again. If you've watched it recently and you haven't seen my video about Westworld, I did a whole video about Westworld last December. Not December 2017, December 2016. But the video is here. I will link it in the description below. Next, I have another comedy special, and that was Judd Apatow, The Return, which is also on Netflix. If you don't know Judd Apatow as a director, he did 40-Year-Old Virgin and Knocked Up. Recently, he did Trainwreck with Amy Schumer. He hasn't done stand-up in like 15 years. I really enjoyed his set. While I wasn't like cackling as hard as I was with Brian Regan's Nunchucks and Flamethrowers, it was very enjoyable. A- to Judd Apatow. It just made me like him more than I thought I did, because I've never seen him speak before. I've only watched his films. The next movie I watched was another rewatch, and that was Jurassic Park, a classic. It was great again. If you haven't watched like the original Jurassic Park, if you're like younger and you came in when they were doing Jurassic World, please watch the original Jurassic Park. It's so good. The score is so good. Like, the dinosaur effects are still so good, especially the scene with the T-Rex. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's real. Like, that's so real. There are select shots where you're like, oh yeah, that one's outdated. But for the majority of this movie, wow, it holds up so well. And this is from 1993. Watching this for the first time was magical. Like, horrifying because I was 3. But I love dinosaurs. And it was just magical. A+ to Jurassic Park. Next, I saw The Last Jedi! The new Star Wars film, The Last Jedi. And I really enjoyed The Last Jedi. Not as much as The Force Awakens, because it was a more serious film, and I always like when they're lighter. You know, I don't know. I found a lot of the movie hilarious. Like, anytime Kylo Ren was on screen, I would burst out laughing, because he would do something just like so meme-ish in my brain of Kylo Ren. Like, I just picture him as this spoiled, annoying teenager who has these, like, anger management issues and has temper tantrums whenever he's angry. Right in the beginning, like, one of the first times we see him, he takes off his helmet, he starts just, like, banging it against the wall. That was the first time I burst out laughing and no one else in the theater did. Oh my god, there were so many good moments that I won't mention because obviously I don't want to spoil you. I laughed a lot at Kylo Ren. I love him. I think he's a fantastic villain. And I love everything that's happening with him and another character. There were so many moments in this movie that I was like, oh my god, this is so Harry Potter. I very much enjoyed that, obviously. Oh, it was so much fun. Oh my god, I forgot. I watched season 2 of Dirk Gently. I binged it all together. It was so good! good. I couldn't stop watching it. Like, again, you start off this season, you're like, what the fuck is happening? Like, what is going on? Little by little, it starts to like put itself together in the most beautiful, quirky, wacky way. Just, it's so well done. Just when you think that they're not gonna get there this time, they get there, and the pieces fall, and you're like, wow, they really did it. They made this feel legitimately logical. I love that cast. I love those characters. I just love Dirk Gently. A+ to Dirk Gently season 2. Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency season 2. Next. What do we have next on my list? I had to write all these down, obviously. There's way too many to remember. Oh, next, I came back home for the holidays, and Paulette and I watched The Truman Show for the first time. Yeah, The Truman Show with Jim Carrey. I mean, it has Jim Carrey in it, so in my mind, I always imagined it to be like, sort of a comedy. If you don't know, it's about this guy whose whole life has been a lie. It's been a reality show, and he doesn't know, and we unfold from there. It's another film that really stops to make you think about shit. It was jarring to see Ed Harris. He's in Westworld, and Westworld brings up a lot of similar philosophical themes. It kind of threw me. I was like, whoa, look at him being in these two shows with similar themes. The length of The Truman Show, like the arc of the story, I just never imagined it being what it is. I'm not gonna say, because if you haven't watched The Truman Show, you should watch it. Truman Show gets an A- from me. Next movie I watched was Home Again with Reese Witherspoon. This was that movie you might have seen a trailer for in 2017 where Reese is living with these young dudes. I really wanted to see it. It looked like a rom-com, but I never did because it got not very good reviews. It was out for rent, so I rented it. And while I was amused, and I love Reese Witherspoon, I can see why it didn't get fantastic reviews. Like, it didn't really have much of an arc, much of a plot, and I actually had like 20 minutes left on it, and my rental ran out because I paused it and was like, oh, I'll finish this later, and I forgot. So I guess I'll give a B- to Home Again. Man, the lead guy in it, the lead young guy, is so pretty. I've never seen him before. Like, who is he? The next two movies I rewatched, I'm not gonna say much about, because one was Harry Potter 7 Part 2, which is like my favorite Harry Potter film, and obviously you've all seen it. And then I also watched Harry Potter the Prisoner of Azkaban, which is my least favorite. I had forgotten the reasons why, like, it was my least favorite, really. Like, a lot of people love it, and I'm like, why do I dislike it so much? Rewatching it really brought all that back for me. And the biggest thing is the scene where Harry goes to Hogsmeade under his invisibility cloak. He gets a lollipop and starts licking it outside of the invisibility cloak. You just see a floating lollipop. He's not levitating the freaking lollipop, so why can't I see his hand? Why is he eating it outside the cloak? He's a man with a blanket on him. Like, it doesn't make physical sense. And then he meets up with Malfoy and crew that are bothering Ron and Hermione, and he pulls down someone's pants and plays with their things and like drags one of them out of the scene, all within like 5 seconds, and all without showing any of his limbs. It's so stupid. What were you thinking? No. Like, he's under a blanket. He's under a blanket! Prisoner of Azkaban gets a B- from me. The 50 millionth movie I saw this month was Jumanji! Welcome to the jungle. Welcome to the... Jumanji. I'm a huge fan of the first Jumanji. It's one of my favorite things. Olivia used to watch it every day. She was, you know, when you're a certain age and you watch a movie every day of your life. Jumanji was one of Olivia's, and a lot of times I joined her for this watch. When Jumanji was coming back, I was super excited about it, and when I heard that Karen Gillan was in it, I was so excited for it. And let me tell you, so many people didn't have faith in this Jumanji. So many people saw the trailer and was like, that looks like crap. And I was like, I have faith in I believe in Jumanji. And you know what? It was great! I had so much fun watching Jumanji! I laughed, I had feelings, and I had so much fun. It was a fantastic adventure with everything I wanted in it, and it had nods to the first one, and it was good. Jumanji gets an A- for me, and I think the first movie probably gets an A- from me too, because it scared the crap out of me when I was little. I loved it. But man, that shooter guy was so scary. I had nightmares about that guy. Next! The next movie I watched was Ingrid Goes West with April Ludgate. Not April Ludgate. Aubrey Plaza! There we go. And I was expecting this to be a comedy. If you don't know, it's about a woman who's going through a really hard time, and she is in this cycle where she ends up stalking people that she sees on Instagram. So she stalks this woman on Instagram and wants to become her best friend. We go from there. This movie creeped me out. It was kind of like a little Twilight Zone-y. Aubrey Plaza was great in it. Like, the whole movie made you think about stuff, but it was not a comedy. Don't go into it thinking that. I'd give a B+ to Ingrid Goes West. I rewatched Inception on New Year's Eve with the brother, And if you don't know, Inception's one of my favorite movies. Still is, still holds strong. I love that movie. Inception is fantastic. Oh my goodness, you should watch it if you have not yet. A+. I finally saw It, because everyone can't stop talking about how It was such a great movie in 2016. 2017. Wow. And I hadn't watched it because I don't like scary movies. They scare me. But everyone was like, no, it's a character piece. It's not that scary. I watched it. And it is scary. That shit is scary. And while it has more character development, like I could see that it's good. Like it's a good horror film. It's a good movie. It's still a scary movie. It's not like a movie. Like every 10 minutes there needs to be a scene that like freaks me out. And I don't like freaks me out in like a scared way. In a way that like I'll lay in the dark and think about it and not be happy that this is happening. The child actors were great and everything was great. I was scared. I was thinking about this a lot. If they made this a show, then I think they could have made it like a really cool horror character piece sort of ordeal. Kind of like an American Horror Story, but like less weird. You know, I mean, it was weird. It's weird. And then there's the horrifying clown, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I tried to like it, and I appreciate it as a film, but it's gonna get a B from me because that was really just, I don't enjoy being scared. Like, I don't enjoy being scared like that. Next! I watched another comedy special with Sarah Silverman's Speck of Dust. I've never watched Sarah Silverman do a set before, and I enjoyed it. I didn't like cackle, you know, but I laughed. I laughed at parts of it. I thought it was really interesting to watch her comedy style because I've only seen her like in movies and stuff. I liked kind of getting to know her better as a stand-up comedian. I'd give her a set of B+. And last but not least, oh my god, I'm down to the last 2 movies. Oh wait, I didn't talk about Roomies. I'm happy to say that in the breaks I had to take to film this video, I finished Roomies, which was so much fun. I've been wanting to read a Christina Lauren book forever, like for so long, and I finally did, and I'm so happy that I did. This is a romantic comedy book, and those are my favorite to read, and I highly enjoyed it, but I did stretch it out over the month because I kept, like, not reading, you know, like I just wasn't sitting down to read it. I should have sat and done it all in one, and it would have just felt more rewarding that way. I don't think I should tell you what it's about, because rom-coms are better not knowing what they're about. Fine, I'll tell you something. So, no, I won't tell you anything. You should just read it. I had so much fun learning what it was about as I read it. When I hit the point where I knew where the arc was going, I was like, I am so excited. A- to Roomies. I can't wait to read more Christina Lauren. And the last 2 movies I saw this month were TONYA with Margot Robbie, which I was so excited to see because I really wanted to see it. I didn't know what went down with Tonya Harding back in the day because I was just a wee chap. I was just a baby. I really love the way that they chose to tell the story. Like, they used old interviews and recreated those interviews and then like recreated obviously what happened, and it was very self-aware, and like Margot Robbie would turn to the camera and like say shit to us sometimes. It was just really clever. It did what it wanted to do so well, and the actors were fantastic. The cinematography was really cool. It made me feel all the things that I was supposed to feel. I'd give it an A. I think it's gonna be nominated for some stuff. I hope it is. I hope that the actors are nominated. I hope at least Margot Robbie is nominated. And last but not least, yesterday I saw The Greatest Showman, and technically this was January, but I'm gonna tell you about it now because it's fresh in my mind and I'm so excited about it. I loved it. The cinematography was beautiful. The singing was beautiful. The dancing, the choreography, oh my god, it was to die for. It was so good. I loved all the music. I loved all the numbers. I loved everything. Oh my god, I came out of it just so happy. It made me so happy. I was just watching it with this giant smile on my face the whole time because everything was so beautiful and well done, and the camera was just, oh, so graceful, and the way that everything, the dancing, there was just so much musicality to everything that happened. It was so good. I loved Zac Efron. I loved Hugh Jackman. I loved seeing Zac in another musical. I just miss him dancing. I just love watching these people dance, and it was great. I loved everything on the trapeze and the whole Rewrite the Stars number. I can't even tell you my favorite number. I couldn't come out of that and tell you my favorite song because I liked so many of the songs and I love so many of the numbers. Oh god, I can't get over the dancing and the way everything looked so beautiful, and really, really enjoyed it. I love the opening. The opening number of the movie was like, oh, showstopper! I was all in from like the second it started. So I give an A to The Greatest Showman. And those are all the stories I ate this month. If you saw any of these movies that I saw, please share your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. What are you reading? What was your favorite story you ate in December? Honestly, I can't decide. I want to say like Outlander. I want to say Dirk. Please share your thoughts on everything. My name's Christine. I make videos every Tuesday. I'm at XTeenMate on Twitter and Instagram if you want to follow me there. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye!